Yo, yo, yo. Okay, there we go. All right, y'all. We're about to do some tests real quick just to make sure everything running smoothly. How does my voice sound right now for whoever's watching the video? Yo, yo, yo. Yo. Can anybody hear me? Yo, can anyone hear me? Say something in the comments if y'all can hear me. There we go. Looks way better. Okay. Hold on one second. Okay, cool. Yo. Yo. All right, y'all. I'm getting ready to start pretty soon. Just trying to wait on a couple more people to get in here. I know not everybody gonna see it because the time switched. But okay, hold on. Send it to him. Okay. All right, y'all. I'm pretty much about to get started. everybody who's not in here right now will be able to get a chance to see it later. Uh, let's send it to one more person. Okay. Um, all right, y'all. Send this to Kira and YBF Rum, and we about to get started. Um, YBF. All right, y'all. All right, let's get it. Let's go along the way to what's the word clocks in. All right. Now these words on y'all screen clocks in. Is the words backwards on y'all screen or is it normal? All right. What's the word, Thomas? All right, y'all. So I'm about to go into this. Okay. All right. Words are actually spells presentation too. All right. Y'all haven't seen presentation one, you can go on my website and check it out there. All right. Legacytowave.net. Okay, bet. All right. Let's get started. All right. First, we about to basically be breaking down. We're gonna start off with the United States. So before I showed y'all some different stuff, I'm about to get get y'all into how the United States turns us into a product. Okay. Appreciate it, Sean. Okay. Uh all right. Okay. The United States is not a country. All right. The United States is a corporation, literally. All right. And I'm gonna prove this to y'all by showing y'all the US code. The US code, if you don't know, is basically the list of laws. All the laws. If you want to find out anything about the government or the laws, you can let me turn my mic down a little bit. Um, if you want to learn anything about the law, this is where lawyers go to this is where lawyers go to get all their information from as far as laws and whatnot. So first, I'm about to screen share y'all something. Okay. Screen share. Okay. So the United States Code is the codification by subject matter of the general and permanent laws of the United States. It is divided by broad subjects into 53 titles and published by the Office of the Law Revision Council of the U.S. House Representatives. All right. So that's just, y'all can read this if y'all want to. But basically, what it's telling you is that the U.S. Code is the list of laws and it's broken down into subjects and into categories, which is basically just a bunch of different categories. All right. So now that y'all know what the U.S. code is, because I want to show y'all for yourself, so y'all not just taking my word for it. All right. So now that you know what the U.S. code is, we're gonna go to the definition of the United States. Okay. Scroll down here. Let me just check my YouTube again, make sure everything on there. Okay, y'all can see good. Okay. If you go here to where it says definitions, this is U.S. code. You see right here, U.S. code, House government. Now, these are one of the sections. You can look this up for yourself. You come down here to section 15. It says the United States means a federal corporation. A federal corporation. It also means an agency, department, commission, board, or other entity of the United States or an instrumentality of the United States. So clear, broad as day, The United States Code is letting you know that the United States means a federal corporation. So when people say that the United States is a business or it's a corporation, they literally mean that. Literally. All right. So let me back out. Okay. This is the proof. Okay. The United States of America is the actual country. So when they're referring to the United States, they're talking about they're talking about the corporation. When they're referring to the United States of America, they're talking about the country. Okay. So let's keep moving. Okay. The United States also does business as the United States of America. So the United States Corporation also uses the name the United States of America to do business as. So this is even a further way to trick you because we got the country that's called the United States of America, but then we have the corporation that's called the United States, but they also do business as the United States of America. All right. And you see here the and the United States of America is lowercase. That's very important because if this was a name and not a corporation, the T would be capital because all the letters should be capital in a name, the first letters at least. Okay. All this is done to confuse you and trick you out of your rights. So when you sign in documents that say the United States of America with the lowercase t or United States, you think that it's referring to the country, it's actually referring to a business. Okay. Now we're gonna talk about Washington D.C. in the District of Columbia. I have another link I want to show y'all. So I could tell y'all about Washington D.C. Okay, share my screen. Okay, we on the code DC Council, right? Let me make this bigger for y'all. Okay, district created body for corporate. The district is created a government by the name of the District of Columbia, by which name it is constituted a body corporate for municipal purposes, which means government purposes, and may contract and be contract with, sued and be sued, plead and be impleaded, have a seal and exercise all other powers of a municipal or government corporation. Corporation, here we got that word again, not inconsistent, meaning not consistent with the Constitution and laws of the United States and provision of the code. So right here is letting you know that the District of Columbia is not a part of the United States. Otherwise, it wouldn't be saying, um, otherwise it wouldn't be saying a municipal corporation not inconsistent with the Constitution and laws of the United States and provision if it was the United States. Obviously, we know that. All right, so let me go back. So this is the District of Columbia. When they talk about, they say Washington, D.C., they say it's in Virginia. It's really not in Virginia. It's a district, right? A district is basically this is basically not even in the country. This is corporate. This is the corporate part. This is like a little country of its own. It's called the District of Columbia is a city state like area called a district. All right. Now let's look at district. The District of Columbia is not part of the United States of America, the country. An area or country or city, especially when regarded as a distinct unit because of a particular characteristic, or excuse me, an area of a country or city, especially when regarded as a distinct unit because of a particular characteristic. And that particular characteristic is the fact that it's a corporation. Hold on. And these are some of these slides I'm explaining to y'all as I go, so I might skip some. So technically, when you are NDC, you are not in the country of the United States. This place has nothing to do with American citizens or nationals. Only citizens of the United States. All right. So what I mean by that is, okay, I'm gonna go deeper into it. Okay. We got the American citizen, which is the regular human being, right? Then we have the US citizen, which is the corporate body. People who wearing suits are in that top tier in that professional world. All right. Here's some, I'm about to show y'all some similarities between the corporation and the US just to show you that the United States is structured like a corporation, right? So we have presidents and vice presidents. We also have presidents and vice presidents of corporations. Okay. We have secretaries in a corporation, just like how we have secretaries in the United States presidency, right? We have a Department of Health and Human Services. So those are all a bunch of similarities showing how Congress and the judicial system is all a corporate entity. They have presidents, they have vice presidents, they have secretaries, human service, all of that. All right. So now we about to get into maritime law, right? Maritime law, maritime law is that system of law which relates to the affairs of the sea, such as a seaman, ships, shipping, navigation, and the like, right? So maritime law refers to everything on the water. Okay, and these definitions I got out of a law dictionary. Okay. The other term, the other term for maritime law is admiralty law. So admiralty, the name of a jurisdiction which takes a cognizance of suits or actions which arise in consequences of acts done upon or relating to the sea. In other words, all transactions proceeding relative to commerce and navigation and to damages or injuries upon the sea, right? So I could read all of this, but to sum it up, maritime and admiralty law is the law of the water. So I'll let y'all look at that for a couple more seconds. You'll be able to go back and pause it. So, huh, what is it? What is it? Hold on. You just set it on the ping pong table. All right, 1 second. Okay. Yo, yo, yo. Okay. So, maritime and admiralty law is basically the law of water, right? So we're operating under maritime and admiralty law. So I'm about to break this down. Okay. And this is just a little segue. Let's just look at how the word mirror refers to water. Maritime, marine, marsh, mermaid, moisture, M, mist, or excuse me, mist, and Moses. All these, this just goes to show you how the letter M is relative to water. And we're going to jump right back into it, but I just wanted to show y'all this. All right. So W and M are the same letters upside down, and W is the letter that starts water. Right. So let's look at the word womb. The letter W represents water. Okay. The letter O represents the belly and the baby, which is the center, which is in the center. Right. This is the belly. You have the letter M, which is mother, and you have the B being the feminine energy, Beth, or house, which literally means womb, is everything. The baby, the belly, the breast, and the mother all excuse me, baby, breast, belly, all start with B. And if you look at the letter B, it is shaped like a pregnant woman, right? The top half being the breast, the bottom half being the belly. If you look at it sideways, it also looks like a butt, and it also looks like a breast from above. Okay. So that's just I'm just showing y'all the letters, and that was just a little segue. But back to maritime law. Let me just explain this to y'all. Before there was cars, trains, and airplanes, boats and ships were a major source of transportation for food, water, materials, and people alone. This was the whole purpose for creating laws that were specific to the sea because they're on the ocean. When on the ocean, things are a lot different. A lot of these laws were created to protect merchants and their commerce, not so much for the people traveling from country to country for personal reasons. Okay. Admiralty and maritime law are all under jurisdiction of the military. Okay. And it just so happens that our court system today operates under maritime law. This is why our people are often treated as criminals of war or pieces of property in the courtroom. And anybody that has went to court or knows anybody that has went to court, we can all attest this to be true. You get treated like crap in court. Okay. So how the birthing system has been turned into a system of commerce and human bartering, right? Okay. Okay. First, you have this large body of water which is turned into an artificial waterway so that boats can be birthed. Right now, I'm about to give y'all the process of how a ship, I'm about to give y'all a process of how a ship, or excuse me, I'm about to give y'all the process of how the shipping process is similar and exactly the same as the birthing process. And this is going to explain to you how they're turning people into products through the United States. Remember, the United States is a corporation. So you have this large body of water, which is turned into an artificial waterway so that boats can be birthed. That's what they call it, birth, well, with the E instead of an I. All right. Once it reaches its destination, it's called a birth vessel. Okay. So this is what a birth vessel looks like. When it comes in, the boat parks itself right, or they park the boat right here. And this is the dock, and this is the pier, right? These are called the breasting dolphins. Funny, right? They call these the breast, and this is the vessel. Okay. We also call body vessel our bodies vessels. All right. Another word for ship is vessel, and another word for ship is mothership. Okay. So look at this picture. This is the birthing canal. This is a woman's birthing canal, right? Look at the shape. Look at the fallopian tubes. Okay. Now tell me this don't look exactly like this. The breasting dolphins, these will be the fallopian tubes, right? Y'all see the shape. This part right here, it's exactly the same. It's scary, y'all. All right. And then this is the birthing canal. This is where this would be the womb of the mother. This is where the ship would be narrowed off so that it doesn't it's not at sea anymore. They bring it into the land. This is the canal. This would be a woman's canal. Okay. Another word for the human body is vessel. Okay. The mothership is symbolic to the woman carrying a baby. That's why they call it the mothership. We also call our children precious cargo. It's not a coincidence. We don't even know where that term comes from. That's not even a term you would use just talking to people. You call your baby precious cargo. That's because it's directly related to a ship. Okay, once the ship reaches the dock, there has to be a certificate of manifest presented by the captain of the ship to the dock operator involving the shipment's origin, product type, name, registration number. All right. The father is the one whose last name the baby takes after because once a couple has a baby, they automatically become a family and the family names become that of the fathers. All right. So just like how um they have a certificate of manifest that has to be presented when you stop the ship, there's a certificate of manifest or a birth certificate that you get once the baby is born. So you got the cargo coming off the ship, which is the baby coming off of the mother or the mothership, right? And then after that, um the father is the captain, right? And then the boat reaches the dock. The dock is We know what the dock is. You bring the boat to the dock. This is where they offload everything. Okay. The dock is really the doctor, right? The doctor is the medium for the womb to the world. Just like how the dock is the medium between the water and the land, the doctor is the medium between the woman and the baby. All right. Now you have doctor, but if you break this word down, it's docked or, right? A oar is a paddle used to row a watercraft through water, right? So you have the docked oar. The doctor is helping the baby get through the water. Okay. Just like the certificate of live birth, you have the certificate of manifest. The certificate of manifest is what the captain presents to show everything about it. That's you telling them the product origin, who the baby's father is, who the mother is, the ethnicity, all of that. That's the similarities between the two. All right. If you live Okay, if you live in the if you work in the plant or work in the factory, then you know they use words like shipping and receiving or the dock. This is all a mirror to maritime law because there's no ship. It has nothing to do with a ship inside of a factory. There's no ships, there's no boats, there's no none of that. There's not a dock, there's none of that. They're using all of those terms. All those terms are coming from um maritime law. All right, just like shipping, we say shipping. There's nothing to do with the ship with mail. It has nothing to do with with a ship at all. They're using all of these rules and these laws from maritime law and applying it on land. That lets you know that we're under maritime law. All right. They also use terms like relationship, friendship, citizenship, membership. All right. That just goes to show you how they look at everything. Okay. So basically, because you were born in the amniotic sac, which is water, so by technicality, you are born in a sea of water, which gives the elites jurisdiction to deal with you in the realm of maritime law because it is the law of the sea. So, being that you're born in water, they're basically saying you're born at sea. This is their um very crazy way of making all of this shit uh glue together. This is their way of telling us what's going on without actually telling us it's going on. So we're gonna look at a couple other things how they apply maritime law to the land, right? And I told you that maritime law also regulates our money. Admiralty law is also the law of currency. Currency is the flow of water like a water current, but more importantly, it is the flow of energy. So if you look at currency, it's literally currency. Or we talk about current, we talk about water. All right. Now we have banks. Banks direct the flow of money or currency, right? Just like a riverbank. A riverbank directs the flow of water or currency. Both water and money are synonyms for energy. All right. This is why they use terms and this is why they use terms like the market is liquid. They use all of these little types of words to bring back around the maritime law. This is them letting you know subconsciously. This is why the words are so important. Because if you pay attention, you'll start seeing similarities between different things. All right. Loan shark. What does a shark have to do with loaning somebody money? We know that it's a vicious animal, but could have been a lone lion. It could have been a lone bear, but they have to make it applicable to water. All right. Now we're going to look at the umbilical cord. Okay. Okay. Hold on. Let me go back to the YouTube, make sure everything's good. Check on y'all. Okay. Everything is well. Proud of you, King. Appreciate it. So okay. Okay. We still all in here. Okay. Let me go back. Okay. We have the umbilical cord. This is a etymology website. So if you type in etym online, which is ETYMO online, you can find the etymological roots of a word. Okay, so umbilical pertaining to the navel, right? From medieval Latin umbilicus, of the navel, from Latin umbilicus, navel. All right. So Latin umbilicus, the navel, also the center of anything. Okay. So you know what's phonetically similar to navel? Naval, like the Navy, right? Relating to a ship. Naval means of, in, or relating to a navy or navies, right? But you see what they did? They changed the E at the end. So instead of naval, you see naval. And like I was talking about in my live, if y'all didn't see that, make sure y'all go check it out on Instagram. They do these type of things because you can replace the E and the A. You could put E right here and it'll still be naval. You can take the E and put an A right there, or just put two E's and it'll still be naval um because vowels are interchangeable. So we can switch out these vowels and it's not going to matter. The reason they do this is because it's a visual illusion. Because when you see this naval, you think of this naval. But when you see naval with the A, you think of ships. So you kind of throw off the connection between the two. All right. Okay. What is a hospital? We're going to look at the etymology of a hospital, right? Shelter for the needy. That's a crazy way to start off, but that's how they feel like the hospital is. A shelter for the needy. Comes from Old French hospital or hospital, hostel, shelter, lodging, from modern French hôpital, and these are like translations. When you see it from French and then Latin, these are like translations. All right, guest inn or guest house inn. Okay. The sense of charitable institution to house and maintaining the needy. In English is from early 15th century. The meaning institution for sick or wounded people is recovered by 1540s. The same word contracted is hostel and hotel. So hospital and hostel are coming from host, right? So the meaning institution for sick wounded people was recovered by the 1540s. The same word contracted hostel and hotel. The sense shift in Latin from duties to building might have been via the common term cubiculum hospitalis guest chamber. All right. So we know that the word hospital and hostel come from the same place, right? Hostile or hostel. Remember this movie, Hostel? It was a hotel, but it was crazy. But a hostel was an establishment which provides inexpensive food and lodging for a specific group of people. Hold on. Okay. The word hostel comes from the word hostile, or excuse me, hostile comes from the word hostile, which means unfriendly and antagonistic. And if we go to the word hostile, hold on. Okay, if we go to the etymology hostile, we can see down here hospice, hospitable, hospital, and hospitality that this word derives from. Is forms all or part of these words. All of these words are related. Hostile, hospital. So a hospital can be a very unfriendly place when you think about the process they are putting you and your children through. We have to respect all of the great hospital workers out there, but we can't ignore the malpractice of Western medicine, things like chemotherapy, which literally poison the users of the which you which literally poisons the user to the procedure, like labor endorsing women to lay against gravity while giving birth. the prescribing of toxic medicines. Um, Not to mention the fact they are literally turning us into products. All right, so y'all have notes up here. So when I'm y'all might catch me reading. But basically what I'm saying is that we can't ignore the fact that there's great hospital workers. There's people that work in the hospital that are excellent and will take care of people. But we can't ignore the other fact that the hospital promotes things like chemotherapy, which we know cause radiation cancer. They force women to have babies laying down against gravity, right? You should be standing up and squatting when you're having a baby. So it can be a hostile environment. And it's just crazy that a hospital and hostile literally derive from the same words. Okay. We are all products of the United States, at least most of us, simply by us going through this process. Okay. Now, let's look at the maternity ward, right? The department of a hospital that provides care for women during pregnancy and childbirth, as for newborn infants, right? And a ward is basically guard. If we take W off and put the G, we get guard. And they just added a U, right? So a ward or a warden is somebody who guards something. So these letters in this instance are interchangeable. So a ward and a guard are the same thing. They literally just changed the letter. Um, the ward, Old English ward, a guarding, protecting watchman, sentry keeper from Proto-Germanic wardas. Okay, we have here we have the definition from ward, guard, or protect. But we also have, hold on, let me go over these a couple more. And y'all just read through these. All right. So we also have a psych ward, right? A ward is like a prison. It's basically a prison. Okay. But a ward is also a guard as well. All right. We have the prison ward, which is a section in a prison. It's like we could come up with so many different names for a place where we keep babies outside of ward. It could be anything but ward. Why do we have to use the word ward for psych ward, prison ward, and maternity ward? Obviously, because they're all connected. All right. And a ward is a cell, right? A unit and a device for converting chemical or solar energy into electricity, right? And that's exactly what they're doing. This is a picture of Chinese prisoners um, being exploited every year and used like batteries. They're not getting paid. They're literally working like slaves, making products. They're not getting paid any money. And that's what it is. Like, okay, there's nothing wrong with being a biological battery to society when it is being done the right way. But they're looking at our children and everybody who enters this earth as a source of energy to feed off of. But in this country, we are overworked, working simple, monotonous, insignificant jobs, only to later be taxed 30 to 40% of our income. Hours of work ranging from 12 to 16 hours a day, with the drive home and the settle down, that's about 75% of your day. We're being used like batteries to power a system for nothing. Literally using our life force energy to power this matrix. Okay, so the certificate of live birth is your original that is sent off to the government, and the birth certificate is the copy of that. So basically, you only have a copy and the government owns the real one. So when you first sign your certificate of live birth for your child, this is the first document that you send, and then they later on send you one in the mail. Okay. You should not be identifying yourself as the entity on your ID, aka your straw man or your birth certificate. It should be used as a medium to deal with the United States. When you are when you do, you are acknowledging that you are a property of the government. And what I mean by that is you have the you version of you, the real soulful version of you, then you have the corporate version of you, which is your name in all capital letters, right? You should only be using your ID when you're dealing with the corporation. When you get pulled over by a police officer, you shouldn't be identifying yourself as a product, because now they have jurisdiction and the right to treat you within um the government's confines or the government's jurisdiction, because you're basically saying, hey, I am a product of the United States and you have the right to do whatever is in law. All right, your birth certificate is literally a stock or bond that can be traded via stock market. All right, the word parents, when you break this down, is pair rents. You are a pair that rents your child out, because the government this is why the government can take your child from you, because it's their property. Because if it was actually yours, they wouldn't have any jurisdiction over your children. Okay. The name you see on your birth certificate or ID does not represent the name that your parents gave you. It is a DBA or derivative that the United States agents gave you to make it easier in doing business with the other business and franchise of the government. So anytime you see your name in all capital letters, it's not representing you. It's not representing the spiritual you, but the business attached to the United States after you. Because of this, your birth certificate is actually a death certificate, because the person that is on there in all capital letters is considered dead, because it is not a real artificial. It is not real but artificial. Basically meaning, and this is what they mean when they talk about the straw man. When they say your straw man, they're talking about the fictitious entity that's attached to your being through the corporation. So when you see your name in all capital letters on the document, it's not talking about you. It's referring to the corporation you. And it's important, you'll always see your name in government documents written in all capital letters. Okay. All stocks are associated with a trust or an interest, whether it be money or property. So you have a legal owner, okay, excuse me, an arrangement whereby a trustee holds property as its nominal owner for the good of the beneficiary. So you have the legal owner and the beneficiary. So let's say an old relative created a trust for their grandchildren, for them when they get older. Let's say the grandparents at some point uh incurred death, or excuse me, incurred debt debt before they left Earth. That would not affect the grandchildren, because they are not the legal owner. They are only the beneficiaries, so they can only take on the positive qualities of the trust. For example, they will not have to clear the debt of their grandfather. Now, if they took responsibility as the legal owner, basically saying they are their grandfathers, they would have to take on all the negative qualities and aspects having to deal with their grandfather's debt. So basically, that's what's going on with your straw man. You're accepting and saying you're the straw man as opposed to the beneficiary. So you have to take on all the debt that is incurred for the straw man. So in actuality, once you get all of this straightened out and get your paperwork settled, and it's a process of relinquishing your straw man, you relinquish all the debt that is attached to it, because the debt that you incurred in this life is only applicable to that straw man, because that money system is only applicable to that corporate system. So you will have all the benefits of the trust or of the straw man without actually taking on the negative penalties of the straw man. Okay. In order to fix this, you have to contact a government agent and let them know you are the beneficiary and not the debtor of the trust associated with your birth certificate. Okay. And this is where you have to study law. This is where this comes in. You need to have some knowledge of the law and fully understand how a trust works. You don't need to be an expert, but you most definitely want to know what you're talking about when you're dealing with these people in the situation. All right. And here are a couple links to help you better understand the law and what's going on. And here is a friend of mine who actually helps with this process. So if any of you are interested in relinquishing your straw man, this is the guy to tap in with. Tap in with him. You can find him at Quasimodo on Instagram. And yes, y'all, that is the end of Words Are Actually Spells presentation part 2. So I'm about to jump into the comments. If anybody has anything to say, if y'all want to tap in, ask any questions, I'm here right now. It's really crazy how they take us through this process, but it's even crazier how they word everything and blend literally everything as one. So do you guys have any questions? That was some mind-blowing information. It is mind-blowing. It's crazy. And when I tell y'all it gets deeper, it gets even deeper. But yes, y'all, that was the end of the Words Are Actually Spells presentation. I'm gonna leave this up probably about 24 hours. And if you want to access this content later and watch it again, you can go to my website, legacytowave.net. I'm about to type that in. So this ties into the whole sovereign movement that's going on. Yes. I didn't even get to use all of these yet. It's pretty sweet. Uh Paulette said she missed it. It's okay, I'm gonna leave it up so you'll be able to rewatch it. Somebody said, "Do I watch Gaia?" No, but I want to. I'm definitely gonna tap into it. Appreciate what you're doing, brother. Good looking for the info. Keep it going. I appreciate that. I'm definitely gonna come up with another one. I don't know if I'm gonna do another words or spells or if I'm gonna go into a different subject after. I might do one more words or spells. I have not watched the Gaia channel. This one was shorter than the last one. The last one was a lot longer because it was a lot more stuff I had to break down before I actually went into it. I kind of wanted to keep this one short and concise because the next subject of words or spells goes into something else. So I wanted to kind of break it up and not give so much. But this one was mostly just about the birthing process and how we're all turned into products through the United States. You should make a presentation on music. I definitely will. I definitely will. Definitely send it to me. What am I eating? I have no idea. Bell Bell just made it, but it's like a veggie pita and French fries. That's what's up. That's what's up. Um, I appreciate that, Tania. I'm glad that you got to join in and see it. We definitely could, clocks in. Definitely. The language is the code. Exactly. Exactly. That's why I've been on words for a minute now because it's so important. Because how could you know anything if you don't know what the words you're using actually mean and what they tie into and how deep it is? I'm glad this got you hyped. But yeah, y'all, I've been on the internet. I've been on the internet for about the past since like 5 o'clock. I'm about to call it a night, y'all. Finish up. I'm probably wait see a couple more questions. Y'all got any more questions? I'm gonna be trying to do these at least once a month. I just situated my schedule. I'm being more organized about things. I want to knock out at least one of these a month. Even if they're short, it's better because we can get more out faster. And I feel like when you go over like an hour or 2 hours, sometimes the information just kind of goes over the head. But if I break it up into sections, you'll know at least words are actually spells. Part one was about this. Words are actually spells two was about this. Words are actually spells three was about this. But yeah, y'all, send this to a friend. I'm gonna leave this up for a little bit so people can watch it. And I'm definitely tap in with y'all and let y'all know when the next event coming up. I will be going live more. Make sure you check out my TikTok page. Make sure you subscribe to my website. This isn't going to be up forever. I'm gonna post a snippet of it, but if you want to see the entire thing, you'll have to find it on my page. But I love all of y'all. It's been fun. One.